you want me to look at you or look at the camera?
So the viewfinder would be best for eyeline, if that's all right. And just, I guess, state your name. And
my name is Michèle Pearson Clarke. I'm a visual artist and assistant professor at Toronto Metropolitan University. Yeah, my process involves, usually my work is rooted in my personal experiences. So usually a project idea always starts with me reflecting, on a particular experience that I'm having. And I would say it's not the experiences that I have because I'm Michèle, but the experiences I have because of the identities that I hold. I think it's a bit cheesy to say, but I do now see sort of working on issues of grief as my life's work, because we live in a culture that still is very, very uncomfortable with the grief that we all feel. And there's almost nothing we can say is universal, right? But grief definitely is universal. We all experience loss, and we all experience loss our entire lives. Even the positive things in our lives, a new job, means loss. It always means giving something up. There's always research. I do both sort of theoretical research as well as visual research. So I would look to see how other artists have, engaged with the issue that I'm thinking about. How have people, communicated or explored the particular idea or theme that I'm pursuing. And then, I work in video and photography, so it would be a sort of thinking about, is this a video project? Is this a photography project? And then write a grant to get money so that I can make it. And I guess that's the best way I can kind of sum it up. So photography and film didn't really so much record reality, but signify and construct a way to see Blackness. And this history we talked about this week, this history is not in the past, it still very much informs and reflects the way that representation of Black people is made today. It comes down to how you communicate to the viewer. So the way that you communicate to the viewer with photography invites what I would call a durational gaze. People can look at a photograph for as long as they want to, as long as they need to, whereas video, the way that you communicate on video is building on accumulation of images, and it is the juxtaposition and layering of images that produces something collectively. So there is this sort of minimization and reduction of our interior emotional lives as well, that the complexity, we're not seen to have complex, rich inner lives. And again, this goes back to these very early stereotypes, because of course, how do you justify the brutality of slavery? Well, you build a myth that this is a simple creature who doesn't have an interior life and that doesn't feel pain. I mean, I started my practice in the academy. I did a master's in fine art. I'm an artist who very much is inspired by theory and grounds and frames my work in theoretical frameworks. So the academy, I find, is a supportive place for my practice. It helps me engineer my thinking and engineer my frameworks. And then as a professor, you have this wonderful constant engagement and feedback with students. And so both building, as a professor, I teach courses in the issues and themes that I'm interested in. And so the research that I have to do to build a class is research, it's helpful for my practice, right? So it deepens my own knowledge of what I'm doing. And then presenting that content to students, you have, students bring ideas and bring responses to things that you are not able to on your own. So it's a very rich dynamic to be able to have that student response and student engagement and questions that plant seeds and spark ideas and send me off down other rabbit holes when they have questions that I can't answer. So it's a really, really, I would say, fundamental part of my practice at this stage. I was like, I'm not a filmmaker, right? But I think that the conversations that I had with him and with Sam convinced me that I had something to offer to the students. So thank you, Sam. Thank you to your department for hosting me. This is an intense but really unique and special experience, and I learned a lot. And I'm just so grateful to the students who took the challenge, most of whom are here. I threw a lot at them. They came every day at 9 a.m. and made it a special week for all of us.